Hi, this is Ed Wesemann, and this is the truth about associate business development. Every year, some firm asks me to speak to their incoming class of associates on how they should begin their business development efforts. For years, I've pitched the standard techniques of personal marketing, and even as I was speaking, I could see the seeds of the arguments they would spill back to me throughout their careers were already beginning to germinate. I present to you, therefore, the top 5 reasons why associates say they can't develop business. I didn't go to law school to become a salesman. The firm values billable hours, and I can't bill hours and develop business. I have, and you can insert one here, a new spouse, a young child, a sick mother, and my time outside the office is taken. I'm an introvert by nature, and I don't like developing business. And I don't plan to become a partner. And I'm hearing that more often, associates questioning, if I don't plan to become a partner, why do I have to develop business? Anyway, this year I decided to take a different approach. I would present to the associates the keys to the kingdom, the veritable Rosetta Stone of legal practice. In short, I tell them the truth. Now I repeat for you what I will tell this year's class of bright-eyed and extraordinarily well-paid associates. There are 3 different strategies associates in large law firms can employ to develop business. The first I kind of call the active sales mode. This includes all the normal law firm marketing advice. Consistently be on the lookout for business development opportunities. Become active in civic organizations and trade groups. Write articles, give speeches, join country clubs, hobnob with people who can give you some business. Now, I confess, I don't know personally any associate for whom this has actually worked out, but with perseverance, who knows, it might actually happen. Strategy 2 is hitch your wagon to a star. Find a partner who has a big book of business and ingratiate yourself. A partner who is a couple years from retirement or smokes heavily would be ideal. Then go about impressing that partner's clients with your legal mind and service ethic. Now, most clients don't know torch from toothpaste, so they're probably better off with service. Wow them at every turn. Deliver documents to their house at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. Send them clippings from the industry trade magazines. Remember their children's names and ask about them in every conversation. Now, the more aggressive associate might consider suggesting to the partner's secretary that the client's phone calls be forwarded to you if the partner's not available. Pretty soon, the client starts calling you directly. The partner's happy because the billing numbers are showing up in their column and they don't actually have to talk to the client. The third possible strategy is what I call build your brand. This involves deciding early on what you want to be famous for. Pick an area of law or an industry and become an expert in it. Unfortunately, it takes years of study and experience to become an expert in an area of law. But with a little time on the internet and a quick Nexus search, you can pretty well bring yourself up to speed. That means know more about it than any other partner on most industries. It obviously helps if you select an industry that is A, not ridiculously technical, B, is somehow associated with your undergraduate major, C, is related to work you're doing, and D, you have a smattering of interest in. Then use every opportunity to broadcast your expertise within the firm by dropping industry jargon into conversations, submitting requests to attend industry conferences, and sending out unsolicited firm-wide emails alerting everyone to some seemingly important piece of breaking industry news. Pretty soon you're the firm's expert on the industry, and they might even build a practice group around you. Now, while you ponder these alternative strategies, let me suggest 10 things associates can do to develop business without really trying. The first is catalog your experience. Once a quarter or so, take a half hour and go through your time records. Develop categories for clients you have worked for, what kind of matter it is, what types of services you performed. This will provide you with an honest and accurate assessment of your own experience, and it'll knock the socks off the partner in charge of associates when it comes time to do your evaluation. Number 2, understand your client's business. Every time you get an assignment, even if it's just drafting a form document, spend 10 minutes understanding the client's business. Go to their web page, look them up at Standard & Poor's, find their ad in the Yellow Pages. The client wants attorneys who understand their business. Take the Dale Carnegie course. Now, I'm not shilling for Dale Carnegie, but just trust me on this. There are valuable skills that they don't teach you in law school. Forget Anthony Robbins. Nobody does this better than the folks at Dale Carnegie. They're listed in the Yellow Pages or the White Pages, and the firm will probably pay for it. If not, it's most likely tax deductible. Read the Wall Street Journal, at least the front page, every single day. The practice of law in most large law firms involves the facilitation of business. To do this effectively, you have to know what's going on in the business world. There's probably a copy in the library, or you can swipe it from the reception area. At least read the left two columns. Number 5, Get a life. I once went to lunch with an associate, and all he could talk about was the deal he was currently working on. He couldn't talk about sports or current events or movies or literature, nothing. The practice of law is a personal service. Business which requires that you be a person, not just a lawyer. Keep in touch with your network. Find a reason to stay in touch with the people you met in law school. Even the dolt who helped you through contracts or the drunken sorority sister who threw up on your couch will eventually rise up the evolutionary ladder and land a position where they can be of some assistance to you. Seventh, figure out what's hot and what's not. Look down the road and figure out whether the area of law you're practicing in is growing or declining. A sure test is your hourly rate. If it's less than your peers, find a way to finagle yourself out of it and into a high rate area. Number 8, update your marketing bio quarterly. Before you can sell yourself to clients, you have to sell yourself to your partners. When a partner puts together a presentation for a prospective client, you want him or her to have the most impressive resume of your experience possible. Number 9, communicate, communicate, communicate. Don't just sit in your office and grind out work. Talk to your fellow associates, invite a partner you don't know to lunch, and don't just talk about business. And generally become a presence within the firm. To use you and eventually promote you, people have to know you. Finally, actively manage your career. Your firm may help, but it can't and won't do it for you. Understand your strengths and weaknesses. If you don't like the work you're doing, tell somebody. Set goals for yourself in every possible area. And if you aren't getting sufficient feedback, go to the partner and ask specific questions. If you do these 10 things, you'll be employing the best of the marketing strategy I gave you, and business development will never be a problem for you. So that's what I intend to tell them this year. Will it do any good? I don't know. Ask me in about 8 years. This is Ed Wesemann. Thanks, and I hope you find this helpful.